welcome to the LeggLife podcast. My name is Adam.
My name is Sherry.
Sherry Beth, what episode is this?
Number 90.
That's a big milestone.
Yeah.
90 is a big one.
Yeah.
We're getting so close to 100.
Yes.
A milestone that I never thought we'd hit.
Well, I mean, we had a few failed attempts early on.
I feel like we got to 50 really quickly, and I feel like especially the last 20 or so have taken a while.
It's been hard to actually be consistent, but we're trying to be better.
We are. One of my favorite types of podcasts that we do are these road trip podcasts.
Yeah.
Where it's basically, there's not a topic, it is just a train of thought.
Yeah, and wherever that goes, it goes.
And the thing is we have no idea where it's going to go.
Right.
And so we are currently heading from Anchorage to Palmer, going to the Alaska State Fair, and we thought, you know what, we have a while on the road, perfect time to do a road trip podcast.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you guys are going to get today. Sherry Beth, I don't know where this is going to go, but I do know where I want to start.
Okay.
We're starting with Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, goddess.
What a great place to start.
Yeah.
So as everybody in the world at this point knows, she is in the middle of her Eras tour. She just did dates in Mexico City, and she's continuing some international dates before coming back to the States next year. We have seen Taylor twice before.
Yes, we saw her on her Red tour and on her 1989 tour.
Both of those, one of them in Seattle, one of them in Tacoma.
Yep.
And we have tried for tickets on the Eras tour now to 3 different cities.
Yes.
We tried for Chicago.
All to no avail.
Didn't get it. We tried for Seattle. Didn't get it. And then we most recently tried for Indianapolis in 2024 and did not get it.
And we did actually have friends trying to get us tickets for LA. We had friends trying to get us tickets also for Chicago. Like, we had friends trying as well, and just nothing.
Nothing. We are trying to get 3 tickets because one of our goals is to bring our nephew Tobin with us.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to get 3 tickets, but so far, nothing. No Eras for us.
Not yet.
Not yet. Ooh, I like that optimism. I will say there is a part of me that desperately wants to scrap the U.S. dates and go see her next summer in Europe.
Honestly, I feel like it'd be easier.
It'd be easier, but also Paramore is opening for her on those dates.
Yeah.
Paramore and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty amazing. Plus Europe.
Plus Europe.
Yeah.
But we did get tickets for one Taylor Swift thing.
We did.
So if you pay attention at all, you know that they recently recorded her Eras Tour concert dates in Los Angeles, I believe.
Yeah.
And they have turned that into what I thought was going to be a concert video to be released on like Netflix or like Apple or Disney Plus. I was wrong. Right.
It's actually just going to movie theaters. And from what I can gather, it's basically going to be sort of like the concert experience in a movie theater.
In her post, like, announcing this, so it comes out October 13th. In her post announcing this, she's basically encouraging people to approach it like you do a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, dress up, do the friendship bracelets, do the chants, do all of the things.
So, I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
First of all, I bought tickets immediately.
Yeah.
Actually, I knew about this. I woke up before you the morning she announced it.
Yes.
And I just bought tickets immediately.
And literally, like, the first thing he said to me that morning was, "Did you see this?" And he texted me, like, the Instagram post, and so that I could actually see the post itself. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he's like, yeah, I already got 6 tickets.
Now, why did I buy 6 tickets?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right.
Literally no clue. I opened up the movie theater and I found the the best theater that was showing it and the biggest one that was close to us. And it's for like the 6 p.m. showing right after work in the big, good, like, sound video theater. And it was already half sold out. And I think what happened is that I panicked. And I just bought what was left of a row.
Sure.
And there were 6 tickets there.
Obviously.
Because I'm like, well, this might be the only way we get to see her Eras tour.
I know. It's not, because it's going to happen.
Boom.
And I think here's me projecting, manifesting into the universe.
Do it.
I think we're going to get tickets for Indianapolis, and we're going to get to sit right next to John Green and his daughter.
Hilarious.
Because obviously they're going as well.
Obviously.
Because they live in Indianapolis, and so and then we'll just become best friends. And so that's how I see this going.
I love how big you dream. And so, Lord, let it be. So we got tickets for that, but I have some thoughts. First of all, my friend Allison and I were talking about this. Allison is a huge Taylor Swift fan, has seen the Eras tour twice.
She'll come with us.
Oh, Allison's not here.
Oh.
She's out of state for that.
Oh, no.
We talked about this.
Dang it.
But we were talking about this and how there is a part of the question where it's like, Taylor, how much money are you going to get from us? You know what I mean? It's like, my gosh.
We have bought every one of her albums and every one of her Taylor's version albums.
Yes. We've bought merch. We've seen concert tickets. We've done, and it's like, now we're paying to see a concert in a movie theater?
Correct.
I don't want to say it's greedy, because I am a huge Swiftie and I will support her, for sure. But there is a part where it's like, yo, this is it's almost like we're tithing to Taylor.
Well, I would be okay with that.
Okay.
What was the first thing I said when you said you wanted to talk about Taylor Swift?
I don't remember.
I said goddess. She's a goddess.
Oh, she is a goddess.
I will worship at the altar of Taylor Swift.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to step away before lightning strikes. Hey, remember how you were hoping to get tickets next to John Green?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's not going to happen now.
Well, I think it is.
Smite me, oh mighty smiter. Okay, so talked about that.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm wondering about the theaters. Will people really dress up, exchange friendship bracelets, do the chants in a movie theater, an environment that we have been largely conditioned to be silent in and consume content, not to do that? What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. As an introvert, there's one thing about going to a concert venue and knowing that it's expected that I will be leaving with no voice.
Right.
Also, I agree, there is a conditioning that has occurred over the 42 years of my life that I think is going to make it very difficult to want to be loud in a movie theater.
Right.
But I also think that some people are just going to be like, I don't care, this is what's happening. And so, I feel like that excitement will probably bleed over.
I think it will be awkward at first, but I think that Taylor's fans are so ferociously Taylor that the energy level in the movie theater will build to the point where it will just become infectious, and we will all be singing and dancing and chanting.
I think so, probably. So, and you kind of made a good point. I'm curious to see how this works in a movie theater that, think about other times that you're in a movie theater and you can hear loud explosions from the theater next to you or whatever. So if this entire theater is packed out, which it will be, because obviously, and everybody is screaming along to these lyrics and all of the chants that go in between and everything, is everybody in the entire building going to be able to hear all of this?
Oh, yeah, so I'm actually very curious about this, because imagine you're taking the kids out for the latest animated feature.
Sure.
And you're sitting down for a nice family-friendly evening of content, and from the theater next to you, you hear 400 voices that are just 1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch! What in the world are you going to think is happening?
I know, and I don't know how the movie theater people are going to handle that, because you can't just be shh.
Yeah, because Taylor told us to not be quiet.
Taylor told us not to. She said go all out,
and we take our orders from her,
obviously. And so I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm fascinated that this is going to be a thing, but I'm also a little bit terrified as an introvert.
Are you going to dress up?
I don't know. I feel like I probably should.
Yeah.
But then I'm stressed out already. Like, it's 2 months away, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, what do I wear? Do I need to make friendship bracelets? Like, what do I do?
I know. I feel the exact same way.
I'm stressing out.
We're going to need to have a planning meeting, just you and I
know.
Sitting down at our kitchen table with notepads to discuss the logistics.
I know.
Ugh.
We also need to figure out the other 4 people that are coming with us if Allison's not coming with us.
Or we just have all 6 seats, which gives me more room to dance.
And gives me a little bit of, like, cushion to
away from the weirdos.
Have a crush of people. Yes, correct. Maybe we'll just do that.
Sherry, I do want to talk about, in my opinion, the greatest thing that has come out of the Taylor Swift Eras tour and the Taylor Swift Eras season.
Yeah.
Because to me, it is not the chants, it's not the friendship bracelets, it is not the documentary movie, it is not the acoustic set.
It is a Taylor.
It is
2 Taylors.
I would argue it is 2 Taylors.
It is 2 Taylors.
To me, the greatest thing that has come out of the Taylor Swift Eras tour, Taylor Lautner and Taylor Lautner.
Lautner.
Whatever, Sherry.
Boy Tay, Girl Tay.
Boy Tay and Girl Tay.
Yeah.
As we will refer to them moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. If I never get to see Taylor Swift in concert again, but what I have gained is Boy Tay and Girl Tay in my life.
Yeah.
Thrilled.
Win.
We
win.
Like, obviously, we all know Taylor Lautner.
Right. Actor. Yes.
Thespian.
Jacob, if you will.
Team Jacob. He and Taylor Swift, we all know, had a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
We all know that he was the one who got the really sweet ex-boyfriend song about him.
One of the only ones.
One of the only ones.
Ever written.
And
not scathing.
And he genuinely, even before all of this, he has always, to me, just genuinely seemed like a good guy.
I agree with that.
Right? He's just genuinely seemed like a good guy.
And in any, like, interviews or anything regarding him, Taylor Swift has always been nothing but gracious and kind.
Which says a lot.
Which says a lot, I think, as well. Because she's, I mean, if it was somebody who stomped on her heart, everybody's going to know that.
Dear John. Yeah.
Or every other song that she's written. But I think just the regard that she holds him in, and vice versa. Like, he has said nothing but kind things about her as well.
Yes. So we all know that story.
Yes.
I'm not huge on, like, celebrity news, so I didn't know that he had gotten married.
I knew he was married, but I didn't know to who. And I didn't know that her name was also Taylor. And
through this, we have gotten to meet the gem that he is married to.
Yes.
Her name, also Taylor. Yes. Which is pretty hilarious.
So there's Taylor Lautner and Taylor Swift, and they're all just like besties.
And they, so Taylor Lautner showed up at one of the Eras tour. Well, Boy Tay and Girl Tay did.
Yeah.
I think in Kansas City, because he is in one of her new music videos. And so he shows up on stage, the crowd goes crazy. But through that is when I started to see in my social media feed this other Tay that I was unaware of. And it is his wife. Now, she is not a celebrity.
Right.
A quote-unquote normal person. I think she went to school for, like, nursing.
I think so, yeah.
She has started a nonprofit that is all focused on mental health. It's focused on self-care. It's focused on just, like, self-well-being. That the content they're putting out, the work they're doing, as somebody who's in that field, is really, really impressive.
Yep. And
I just have absolutely fallen head over heels for Boy Tay, Girl Tay.
Yes, and I mean to the point that so they have a podcast as well.
They sure do.
And we have listened to that podcast, and it's really good. Like they're just doing really good things.
The thing that I love the most about them is that they are just so, and I mean this in the very best sense of this word, they just seem so normal.
Yes, so he obviously is a celebrity, and she is not, and so they have actually talked about that kind of
dynamic?
Dynamic. Like, you know, that she's normal and he is recognized everywhere he goes. And so there's, you know, that just kind of adds a different layer to their relationship that, like, most people don't have to deal with. And, but they've been really honest about all of that, and just, like, not talking to them, hearing them talk to each other in their podcast just makes it seem like we could just be friends with them. Like, they're just so real and down to earth, and they obviously love each other, and they support each other, and I mean, they're a decade younger than we are, but it still just seems like we could really get along. Don't you think?
Yes. Well, first question, were you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
I mean, I've always been a little bit Team Jacob just because he's pretty.
Yes. Yeah, you're not wrong. But I've got to say, like, through all of the whole Taylor Swift stuff, those two are, like, my biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
They are people who I look for their stuff on social media. They make me laugh. They make me think. They make me just, I don't know. I love when you see celebrities or people with a platform or people with influence who are using it both for good, but who are using it also just to, or who are just so relatable.
Yeah.
So those two have been my highlight.
And honestly, I have to say, like, obviously Taylor Swift was huge before this.
Of course.
But I love that her platform has kind of given them the platform to be recognized.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, like, you know, Boy Tay is already, everybody knows who he is, but, like, I love that his sweet, sort of shy wife is now, she has this platform that she didn't have before, even off of, you know, from her husband's fame. Like, there's just something about Taylor Swift endorsing you.
That's true.
That just makes the entire world be like, okay, our new favorite people are these people because Taylor Swift told me. Yeah,
because I wouldn't have known about her or the work that she's doing or like their podcast, or I wouldn't have known about any of that if it wasn't for Taylor Swift.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yep. I love it.
I love it too. Sherry, any other Taylor Swift eras, Boy Tay, Girl Tay thoughts?
Oh gosh, I mean, honestly, we could probably just fill this entire podcast with Taylor Swift.
I do think if you are a Taylor Swift fan,
adjacent.
We have Taylor Swift adjacent. We have done a Taylor Swift podcast before. So go search that one, because there is a dedicated LeggLife Taylor Swift podcast out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, because she's just the best. And here's my thing with, I think, us giving her all of our monies. First of all, she's earned every penny. Second of all, I feel like she just does such a good job of being and continuing to be relatable. Even just randomly, like, picking out fans and going to their house. You know what I mean? Like, who else is going to do that? Like,
I mean, stalkers.
Okay. Well.
But as far as celebrities go?
As far as celebrities,
oh, got it. Okay,
like, she wants to stay in touch with the people who made her famous.
Yeah.
And she never wants to lose that. And I think that is something that's very rare. Like, so many people get to a certain height of celebrity and they become recluses and they are surrounded at all times by security. And she is too, but I think it's also like she wants to keep that communication open between her and her fans.
And as I've watched, because I've watched so many TikTok live streams of concerts that we weren't able to get tickets to, so many like just videos and stuff. You know, one of the things that I've realized about Taylor Swift, and maybe I'm super late to like the game on this realization about her, is that yes, she is an amazing musician, amazing lyricist, just like really great celebrity, good person, obviously beautiful. Taylor Swift, a gigantic nerd.
Absolutely she is.
And that's,
I love it.
Like, the more I watch her, the more I realize, I'm like, wait a second. Like, you're super quirky and kind of nerdy, and yet you're also all of these, like, you're the height of cool.
Right.
You're all of those things combined.
But she doesn't let her, like, status change who she is.
Yeah,
like, she still trips on things, and she's still awkward. And I love it. I absolutely just adore it. And again, I think that goes into just how real she is and how she's not willing to give up her realness and her authenticity just because she's famous.
Yeah, it'll be one of those things throughout. So this is turning into just a Taylor Swift episode. It's one of those things where, because we are in roughly the same age group as her, I mean, she's obviously younger than us, but not by decades.
We were all born in the 80s.
Exactly. Then basically our whole life, if she continues doing music, like, we will get to watch this career that sort of spans our life as well.
Right.
And I'm really curious to watch how she continues to evolve, how she continues to change. Because, I mean, at this point, how many huge albums, how many amazing #1 songs, the largest tour of all time now, that's just continuing. Who knows how this concert tour in theater will revolutionize that industry.
Right.
Like, I mean, she just, like, is continuing to, like, knock all this stuff down.
Push the envelope.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So.
Yep.
All right. What do you think? Is that enough, Taylor Swift?
It's never enough Taylor Swift, but I feel like we could probably move on.
All right, so here's what we're going to move on to, Sherry. We're driving out to Palmer, again for the State Fair. I apologize for the road noise.
Yeah.
Also, it has started to sprinkle, and I'm looking over at where the State Fair is.
It looks really dark.
It looks really dark, and I didn't bring a rain jacket.
I did.
You are smart. I am not.
It's the fair in Alaska.
That's what I want to talk
about. Why would you not bring a rain jacket?
It's absolutely foolish. I put on a hoodie, and I thought, I don't need a rain jacket. Nope, I need both.
Yeah.
So in Alaska, the joke for basically my whole life has always been that, it's the fair is starting soon. That means it's going to rain the whole time.
Yep.
Not always true.
Not always true, but I think that there have been fewer sunny days during the fair than rainy days.
Without question, especially this year.
Especially this year, because we've had very, very few sunny days all summer.
Yeah, this has been a rough summer. In fact, I was talking to somebody earlier today in the office, and she made the comment that I kind of really related to, is that summers in Alaska, I think for the most part, are what keep most people here. Yeah. The days are long. There is so much to do. It is just like the height of natural beauty. Alaska summers truly are unbelievable. And what happens is that you get to the end of summer, and you're just so exhausted from all that happened, but you're just so happy about Alaska.
Yeah.
And that feeling carries you through the darkness and, like, heaviness of winter.
And the cold and yeah.
But I'm concerned about this year because we've had such a gray, dark, not bright and sunny summer that I'm concerned about what depression looks like in Alaska. It's all like we already lead the nation in suicide, lead the nation in depression, lead the nation in all of that stuff. And I'm concerned about what it will look like this winter, having had such a dreary summer.
Dark gray summer. I agree with that. Like, I do feel like there usually is kind of almost like a breath going into the fall that, like, we've been so busy and it's been so bright and light all summer, and that there's almost like a looking forward to being, especially me, I'm just naturally melancholy, I guess. Like, I relate more to, like, the sad feelings than the happy. Like, there's a part of me that, like, coming out of the summer, that it's just like, okay, finally, like, I can kind of settle into my sad.
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't risen out of my sad from last winter, because it was a hard, long winter, and then we had a total of a week of summer. Like, it was just dark and gray and rainy.
Yeah, so you have such a hard winter last year.
Yeah.
You have such a lame summer this year. Now getting ready to head back into winter. And I almost have this feeling, and we haven't talked about this, but that because of that, we need to be intentional, and we probably should do better at this going into every winter, but especially this winter, just asking the question, like, okay, knowing that winters can be hard, knowing that this winter could be very hard, what are we going to do that will help that?
On the front end to combat?
Well, on the front end, but also like all through winter.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that has always really helped you has been tanning.
Yeah.
And so, even saying like, okay, going to be better about going tanning this year because you need those little like spurts of warmth.
Vitamin D and just kind of warmth. Yeah, like I need the UV rays that I haven't had since last summer.
And thinking about, January and February, which is always the hardest part of winter.
Yeah.
Do we need to take an extended vacation to a warm climate? It's like January, February, maybe not the year to go visit mom in Colorado. Right? Or family in Indiana. But like we need
warm on a beach.
We need somewhere warm on a beach because it could be harder this year than most years.
Yep.
And so I think I've been kind of thinking about that, like being proactive going into winter because of how we've experienced summer.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
What are other things that help you or that you think would help you?
I have a SAD light, the seasonal affective disorder light, beside my computer. It might be helpful to get one for my office.
It's a great idea.
Because I have one like at home, but it might be good to have one at work as well.
I love that.
I don't know. I don't know what else really I can do because I am just sort of naturally, like, I kind of gravitate toward the sad. And so, and not that I'm like depressed and whatever, but like that's just more of like the comfort level for me.
Totally.
And I don't know, but I can see the danger in only sitting in that. And so I'm not really sure what else we can do. Do you have ideas?
No, I think that I think the little things, right? Like the tanning, like this, I think SAD light's exactly right.
Getting out of Alaska,
but also forcing ourselves to like be active in the winter. And by be active, I just mean like doing stuff. Even if it's going to the mall and walking around, or just like make sure we're getting out of the house so that we don't get to the place where it's like, oh, I haven't left the house in 13 weeks. Like, I mean, I do
have a job that takes me out of my house.
I know, but I think that when you only leave to go to work and go home, in some ways that can be a depressing routine.
Yeah, that's true.
And so just like the intention around that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think the only other thing I'd say is just for us to be intentional about asking each other, like, hey, how are you doing? Like how, you know, we just had, a week where we had very little sunlight and it snowed every day. Like, how are you doing? I've noticed you finished a bottle of whiskey yesterday. maybe.
How are you really?
How are you really? Like, let's talk. And so I don't know. I think that just that kind of stuff would help.
Probably, yes. Yeah.
So we are pulling up to the Alaska State Fair.
We are.
And Sherry, before we get to the fair, and we are going to vlog the fair, so you all will see, this podcast will come out on Saturday. On Monday, I think you will see our fair vlog. But Sherry, I want to ask you, what are you most excited about going to the fair today?
Oh, I just love the fair. Like, it's just a cute little thing. Most looking forward to. I mean, the food.
Yeah. It's hard for that to not be the answer.
I know. Like, the food is always just so damn good. I don't know. The games are kind of stupid, but they're fun. We don't really do rides.
We don't do rides, but boy, I'd say, well, I will every year. Yes, I will spend $5 to get 3 darts to pop balloons to win a stupid little plushie that I could have bought for 82 cents on, like, eBay.
Correct.
Absolutely,
yep.
I will.
Yep. And the little fishing game with the frogs.
You love that game.
I love that game. It's so stupid, but I love it.
And that's what matters.
Yep.
I think for me, food, obviously, again, the fair is one of those things that I look forward to every single year. I could come to the fair multiple times and do the exact same thing every time and have fun. And one of the things I think is interesting about the state fair is that the crowd at the fair changes based on events that are happening that day.
Yeah.
So, last week, Young Gravy, the hip-hop artist, was the musical act for that night. I guarantee the crowd that day, when Young Gravy played, was different than the crowd today when Kill Switch Engage, the rock band, plays.
Sure.
Or it was different than when, like, Fog Hat, the classic rock band, played.
Right.
And so...
Or when there's a country act, or when there's...
Yeah, it's like, based on the activities, the crowd changes.
Yeah.
Which in some ways makes the whole experience change a little bit.
That's true. Yep.
So I'm curious to see what it is like today. We are not going to the Kill Switch Engage concert.
Correct.
Because neither you nor I could name a single Kill Switch Engage song.
Correct.
But there you go, you guys. A road trip podcast that was like 80% Taylor Swift, 20% seasonal depression,
As it should be.
and 5%
aside from the sad stuff, like it's...
and 5% fair food.
Yeah.
Even though that's like, I just realized that's 105%.
It's 105% you just did, yep.
But sometimes you got to give 105%.
That's true. Yep.
The parking lot is so muddy and gross.
I'm really glad that we wore our extra toughs. Actually, I was going to wear cloth shoes because I was like, it should be dry out there.
Spoiler alert, it's not.
I'm really glad because I didn't even think about the parking lots just being in mud.
Yeah.
It's not like we have paved lots.
Nope, it's just a field.
It's a field.
Okay,
and there is standing water.
One more fair question. One of the events happening tonight is the Demolition Derby. Have you ever been to a Demolition Derby?
I doubt it.
Really?
Do I ever want to go? I doubt it.
Okay, we're not. You know what? We are going to end the podcast.
Are we in a fight?
Because we're in a fight right now. Because we're going to end the podcast because we're in a fight right now. So, friends, we love you guys so much. Thanks for listening. It's always fun to do these road trip podcasts. To be honest with you, this is kind of why and how the LeggLife podcast started.
Yeah.
We just had so many random conversations
over the course of the 20 years we've been together
where we thought, you know what, that would be fun to record.
Yeah.
And
so we are.
I want to go to that entrance, Sherry.
All right.
So we're going to that
I'm
entrance.
going to follow you because I'm in the car.
Because you're in the vehicle? You're not going to just jump out? You guys, here's what I want you to do. Go over to the LeggLife podcast on YouTube. Find this episode, this road trip episode, and I want you to leave a comment. If you are a Swiftie, are you going to the Eras Tour in theaters? And are you going to dress up, make friendship bracelets, chant, sing, dance, all of that? That's what I want to know. How many of you will actually do that in a movie theater?
Yeah.
Because
I'm still undecided.
I am undecided, but I am leaning more to wanting to go all out and like dress up and go crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right.
Friends, we love you guys so very much. Thanks for listening to episode number 90.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next LeggLife podcast.
Bye.
Bye.